Oh my goodness.
The one of one is missing.
I knew something was up.
Pop that's almost twice as much going for the same price.
I just freaking love that rated rookie logo.
Doing more buy-ins.
Which one of these 5 quarterbacks has the worst set of pass catchers to throw the football to?
Guess how much I sniped this for an auction?
Number to 5, you dirty animal.
I'm telling you, these optic on-card autos are money.
Alrighty, baby. This is what we all live for. To talk about J.K. Dobbins. To talk about Nick Chubb. And to talk about the great Aaron Rodgers. So, Andy, we're going to mix it up today and lead off with some veteran cards with some very tasty landing spots for all 3 of those players.
Yeah, man. You know, the audience, the great members of our community out there, Carter, they voted for flipping undervalued cards in the past couple weeks on a community poll. And these signings are creating tremendous opportunities to flip undervalued cards. Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers, Nick Chubb, man, to the Texans, and then J.K. Dobbins to the Broncos. I really want to know, Carter, I want to ask you, I want to ask everybody out there in the chat, which one of these is most shocking to you? I mean, for me, it wasn't Aaron Rodgers because we kind of thought he was going to be going to the Steelers. For me, it was J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins to the Broncos was the most shocking to me, especially with them drafting R.J. Harvey.
Easily, it was Nick Chubb for me, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But I want to start with J.K. Dobbins because there are a fair amount of people that own his cards. I was kind of shocked by how many people in my inner circle owns J.K. Dobbins cards. It is kind of weird because you have cards in AFC teams, some that really just do not like each other at all. Obviously, Ravens and Broncos fans, they have beef going back to the Jacoby Jones touchdown from Joe Flacco. But Dobbins, to me, Andy, looked pretty good. This is a guy that overcame the dreaded ACL injury as a running back. And the one thing you must always know about Sean Payton, what you think is going to happen with the running back position is not what's going to happen. You know, last year there was a lot of people in the Jaleel McLaughlin camp. A lot of people like myself loved Audric Estime. And then there were still people out there that believed in Javonte Williams. And guess what happened, Andy? The offense was spectacular, but none of those 3 really popped off. And this goes back to his Sean Payton days or Saints days when you draft Reggie Bush. Was Reggie Bush good with the Saints? Yes. Was the offense good? Yes. Was he elite? No, right? It was still Pierre Thomas. It was still Darren Sproles. It was still all these different guys. So the one thing you always have to know about a Sean Payton running back is, number 1, you got to catch the football out of the backfield. That's a must-have for Sean. But also understand you're going to be in a weird committee. So with J.K. Dobbins, I would definitely move. I don't think he's going to have like some of the super spike weeks he had last year with Los Angeles. He's still a year older. So this is a good time for him with the sexy landing spot to move some of his stuff.
Yeah, and he showed us last year, Carter, with 32 receptions on the Chargers. He can function as a receiver out of the backfield, and he's not dust. You know, 4.6 yards per carry, put up almost 1,000 rushing yards last year with the Chargers in just 13 games. And I know he sprained his knee; he missed 4 weeks, but you know, I think overall this is going to add a really interesting dynamic to the Broncos, who are an ascending franchise right now. You can see his cards are moving quite a bit. He was, out of these 3 guys we're going to talk about today, he was the lowest out of the 3 of them. He had gotten the lowest, so his cards are now moving. The sold volume is moving. It's gone up quite a bit as we're looking at a lot of just buy it now solds in the past 24 hours. Has been well over 100, which is sizable. His search rate has gone up tremendously. But you can see Silver Prism rookie autos still selling $20. Those are going to move up now as these buy it nows fly off the shelf.
I love it. Nick Chubb to Houston, Andy. Man, I think Nick Chubb still has a shot to be something. I know everybody wants to label him as dust because his leg injuries were absolutely brutal. If you've not had lunch yet, don't go look at that Minkah Fitzpatrick kid from a few years ago. It really was that nasty. But Nick Chubb is a freak of nature. He has a lot of tread on the tires. He carried a lot of footballs at Georgia. He carried a lot of footballs early in his NFL career. But it's Nick freaking Chubb, baby. So it is weird. The two most, if you're a fantasy guy, dead zone-ish backs you can think of are on the same team. And you have Joe Mixon being that other dead zone back. And then, of course, you have Woody Marks also in that mix and Damian Pierce somewhere in there as well. Andy, I think Nick Chubb's going to be good this year. That is my bold take. I think we're going to get a 500, 600-yard Chubb year.
Oh, I think we are. I mean, I've recently seen the videos of him squatting over 500 pounds. He passes physical. I saw some clips of him cutting and running. He looks good. I think this is a fresh start for him. And in fact, Carter, I'm just going to, get a little shout out here for myself. This is for all the premium members. This is why you're a premium member over at patreon.com/footballcards. Carter, I nailed this one. Look here. Look at the date on this. I wrote up this article last Friday. And I said, buy Nick Chubb this weekend. This is this past weekend. And one of the main reasons why I highlighted in this article is because I felt that he was going to be moved as a free agent. He enters 2025 as a free agent, opening the door to a fresh start. And this is a perfect move. It's not a pure interdivisional contender, but this is a conference contender, a team that is clicking here with the Houston Texans. I absolutely love this, man. And combined with the scarcity of 2018 rookie cards, you have stuff like Gold Standard with a plain, patch here out of 75 rookie auto that for Nick Chubb is going to sell for $60 to $70. That could have been bought at a discount last week that people are making money on this week. I mean, it's you love to see it for a veteran running back like this guy. I think this is a perfect opportunity for him here in Houston to really go up a lot in value.
And then we get to Aaron Rodgers. To me, of the legendary quarterbacks, definitely one of the weirder rookie cards because so many of his iconic rookies are him in that very lame, boring pose in his practice uniform, that tops, and then there's that 50th anniversary of that card. I'm a big fan of his exquisite patch cards. So if you're an AR collector, that would be what I would target for like a all-time PC card, but you would have to pay up for that. But Andy, your thoughts overall on AR12, or should I say AR8's market?
Well, I think that if you were smart, I think a lot of guys out there were buying Aaron Rodgers in anticipation of this news. Yes. And I think this is the time to sell. I mean, take this upper deck as a primary example here. 2005 upper deck. It's one of the most sold graded cards. Pop over here to slabhawk.com. Look at this card, and it's gone up 15% in the past month in anticipation. But the last sale, $85 last Friday. And then today, you've got buy nows at $150. That's almost doubled the value. So you can see that Aaron Rodgers, because he's a veteran Hall of Fame quarterback, Steelers have one of the largest fan bases, largest markets in the NFL, in the country. You're going to see his values go up the most out of these three guys, playing a quarterback position, that signal caller. So I think this is a great sell opportunity. We're looking at a huge increase in his values virtually overnight from this news. And this is your opportunity to sell. I think that they go down over the course of the season. I think Rodgers is pretty much cooked, man. I just don't see how he can exceed expectations here in Pittsburgh. And I mean, I look at this as a sell opportunity for Rodgers, for DK Metcalf, for Pat Freiermuth, the other guys on this depth chart around him as well, before he starts bringing in his, his wide receivers before they,
Yes.
you know.
Yes. Let's go to our first super chat, and this isn't really a shock. We get into the veterans. Look, I don't mind this at all. If I don't mind if this stream is just 1 hour of Jaden Daniels talk, it's right up my alley. So we probably should have led with the Jaden talk because he is, the guy. I have an Optic Red Mojo Jaden Daniels PSA 10 and 2 Daniels Rocket Emoji PSA 10, the first graded, and only PSA 10s auction now. Or okay. He's saying, should I auction now or wait for the preseason hype? Here's my opinion, Andy. If you have the first and the freshest PSA slab of this card, then you probably should move now, right? But what you can do is sell 2 of these and then just hold on to one before the season or vice versa. But I would, when it's the absolute lowest possible pop count, because the pop count is only going to increase, I would definitely consider at least moving one of these.
Yeah, that's what we see, man. The very first cards that come back from PSA, from these new sets, man, they just go for a premium that you just don't see in the future. It's really hard to get back to that. I mean, we've seen it so many times that I think I'm going to agree with you here and say that is a great strategy. Save one, though. Save one for sure.
Yeah.
Move 2, and there you go. I think that's a great strategy. I would still sell them by it now. That's just me. Maybe this is a card, though. If you don't have a big following on eBay and maybe you don't have a social media network to to spread the word about these auctions, to consign them with somebody like DC Sports 87 or another major consigner that has a ton of people following their auctions that is going to get 50 to 100 bids. I mean, Jaden Daniels, when you look at the most sold cards, Carter, in the past, graded cards in the past 30 days, just out of the entire NFL, look at Jaden dominant. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the top 10 most sold cards in the past 30 days are all Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I mean, he's just got everything. The most electric QB in the NFL, maybe outside of Lamar and Josh. I mean, in terms of how much fun you have watching the guy. Something else is Jaden played in like the most absolute exciting games you'll ever see a rookie quarterback play. I mean, just straight up thrillers, M. Night Shyamalan's every week. So, look, I would do the same. As hard as it is for me to let those go, and I'm probably a bigger Jaden fan than you, Space 99 Yak. So this is coming from someone that wants to hold everything that I own. Jaden Daniels. If you had the freshest PSA 10 slabs, I would. I will do.
Carter, any concerns about Terry McLaurin not showing up to OTAs? Apparently, he's trying to negotiate a new deal, but any concerns there for you?
No.
No.
I mean, Jaden's still on the rookie deal. They're going to give him the deal that he wants because, number one, you don't want to split that locker room. And then number 2, Terry's still good. You can go to Power Hour NFL. I just did a deep dive on Terry McLaurin. And the weird thing about it is so many people are talking about the age cliff and how many touchdowns he had. Andy, you're actually way higher on Terry McLaurin than even I am. The funny thing about it was him and Jaden missed so many touchdowns last year. The truth is, Terry probably should have, even though he had 13, he actually probably should have at the very least had 15. And some of that was on him. Some of that was on Jaden. Some of that was on protection. But he got open a lot on vertical routes. And I'm a big Terry believer going into next year, but not worried about it at all. And I think the big question, Andy, and I'll go to you and I'll give you my opinion after this. So many people with CJ Stroud cards felt stagnation, right? CJ wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination, but he wasn't elite like it was his rookie season. So are you worried about a year 2 dip with JD5?
I mean, I would be worried. Yeah, I would be worried if I was holding a lot of Jaden cards, but at the same time, I just don't think that he's gonna. I just don't think that he's gonna have the same dip that CJ Stroud had. Um, yeah, I think that Jaden's in a little bit different environment, got a little bit different upbringing, the way he trains and stuff is a little bit different, man. So I feel like he's going to continue to play really well at a top 3 quarterback level in the NFL. I mean, as strange as that may sound to a lot of people, I just don't see him having a second-year dip.
Oh, you said Jaden's going to play at a top 3?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's going to be an MVP candidate out of the gate here through the first 3 weeks. I mean, he's very chalky. I think that's why a lot of people continue to buy his. I mean, cards like I went to a card show over the weekend and I didn't do well in trying to sell. But I didn't have any Jaden Daniels cards. And everybody I went up to asked me if I had Jaden Daniels cards.
Yeah, I mean that's just how it works, man. It's always the number one hottest name. But you said top 3, Andy.
Yeah, I really do. Because I think that Jaden can emerge as better than Lamar Jackson. So I think basically Jaden can take Lamar Jackson's spot as top 3 quarterback, and that'll put him in that conversation with Josh Allen. Then you got to either sort out whether it's going to be Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes. He's in that conversation. So
yeah, I mean, he's in the conversation. But so for those that don't know, a few weeks ago, you said Terry McLaurin for 2,000 yards, as Jonathan points out in the chat. But I know this isn't quite football card related, but top 3, Andy, Jaden Daniels, top. I look. Jaden is a very even-keeled guy, all right? And out of anyone, he has so much respect for Lamar Jackson. But that's crazy. I don't see Lamar falling off. I just don't. Like I don't
see
know
him falling off. But when I look at Jaden's ascension here, I think it's going to continue to climb. And I think that when you look at the schedules and the divisions, I think that the Jaden and his start to the season here, he's going to have a better start to the season.
Yeah,
and he'll be in that top 3 conversation as an an early MVP candidate out of the gate.
Yeah, look, once again, there's not a single person watching this right now that has dedicated their lives more to Jaden Daniels than me. I've done a film study on every single game he's played since 2022, NFL or college. But I am shocked that you would put him in the top 3. I don't think I'm bold enough to say he's better than Josh Allen. I don't think I'm bold enough to say he's better than Lamar. Could I have him number 3? Maybe, but not. I mean, Burrow was so good last year, and I think Mahomes will bounce back. So I hope you're right. My major point is I don't think he's going to have a sophomore slump because I do think he's better than CJ Stroud. I do think he's a little bit more film proof, if you will, because of his mobility and creativity and all of that. But if he for sure, and it's clear he cracks into the top 3, then he's probably playing for the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, and look at this opening schedule, Carter. Giants at home, week 1. Gotta love it. 1:00 game. That's a great start to their season. Then you go at Packers, primetime, Thursday night football. I like that game. I think they go into Green Bay early in the season, Thursday night football. They win this game. And it's a challenging game, but I think this is the one they win. And then you have the Raiders at home, 1 o'clock, another great game. So I think you're looking at a 3-0 start from the Commanders, and Jaden Daniels is the face of that franchise now. And this is why he's going to be talk of the town, right? And starting the season. I definitely think they're going to be containing the playoffs again, the whole 9 yards. So, but just the start of the season, so much of card hype hinges on that first 3 games start of the season. And this is, I think, very, very plus EV here for Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I was going to wait until a few weeks from now to do our schedule analysis, but that was actually one point I was going to make when we actually did, is that Jaden does have a favorable schedule because they do not get the first place schedule draw because Philadelphia won the division. So as far as that is concerned, things are shaping up really nicely for Washington. One thing I will say, though, if we want to get into MVP discussions, man, the Commanders would be absolute ass if they did not have Jaden Daniels as their quarterback. I think Baltimore could still function to a certain degree, but that's a slippery slope argument because all these quarterbacks are extremely valuable. I will say that Jaden is, to me, the clear-cut best quarterback in the NFC, and I know the Jalen Hurts and Matthew Stafford groups of swaths of fans will come after me. But going into last year, Andy, before Jaden even played a professional snap, I had him as the number 2 quarterback. So I predicted he would be this dominant. But I don't know if I could pull an Andy Kaysen and say he's better, that he will be better than Lamar Jackson, who is like on these last couple seasons have been in a different stratosphere. I mean, I could make a strong case that Lamar last year was the best QB regular season to not actually win the MVP. It's up there with Drew Brees in 2018. Tom's last year in Tampa is definitely in that mix as well. But we'll see.
Look, how many other quarterbacks are training right now in game environments in virtual reality at 1.75x speed?
Yeah, there you go.
And I mean, look, if they're not doing it, they're leaving gains out on the field. You know what I'm saying? And Jaden's getting after that every day. That's revolutionary. So if they're not taking like what he's doing as inspiration to start doing that themselves, he's going to pass them up. I hate to say it. Well, I don't hate to say it. That's what I believe, But for everybody that's holding all these other guys out there, that's, hey, you might want to have some exposure to him. I know he's really chalky. He's expensive. You got to hope to rip him out of packs in a lot of cases. But, man, he's a great quarterback to have in your portfolio.
Yeah. Quick question. Did you see this graphic from last week? I should have brought this up in our show prep. It was from the Market Movers people, showing that a J.J. McCarthy PSA 10 Silver Prism is going for more than a Jalen Hurts PSA 10 Silver Prism. And that just goes to show you how much people love the young rookie hype. Looking at, I'll say this about J.J. McCarthy, because you've gotten a lot of questions about him privately in Discords and all of that. I went back and watched his final full start at Michigan, and Michigan's offense was such a run-heavy, game control type of offense where you really do need to sit and actually watch McCarthy, because normally, Andy, I don't like quarterbacks who only throw for 300 yards their final season of college football. They only throw for 300 once. Okay. But I mean, look at that. That is a $60 gap between the two of them.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of expectations hanging on J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings. That's just what it is. I mean, that's what it is. A lot of expectations there. A lot of expectations and FOMO. A lot of FOMO. Fear of missing out, in case anybody doesn't know what that means.
So if you want the latest, slabhawk.com, check it out. They have their own prices and all of it. I just thought that was interesting. We brought this up with JJ McCarthy being as expensive as he was. I do think one thing that's interesting, the fact that his prices are about where Drake May's Silver Prism PSA 10s are, which I think is ridiculous before McCarthy actually plays a game. One thing of note, though, about JJ McCarthy, Vegas has him as a higher touchdown prop, Andy, than Matthew Stafford, CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, Tua Tagovailoa. So the sharps out west think JJ McCarthy is going to be a slam dunk, redshirt freshman, rookie sensation QB.
And I think these are the things you got to look at. We got to look a little deeper here and look at what the grade rate is, what the population of this card is, and kind of look at where it's been. This card's been higher before. It's kind of, as you can see, it's going back up here throughout this offseason. So another guy I expect to transact a lot here at shows throughout the summer. But yeah, population of 342, 30% grade rate. And compare that to Jalen Hurts, population of only 331 at a 25% grade rate. So this doesn't, and you could see there's a 550 auction yesterday that ended for this card. So he's hanging in there. They're going neck and neck, but the Jalen Hurts card should be higher. And you can see where it was at Super Bowl time frame, around 750 to $800. So the Jalen Hurts card is very chalky, in my opinion. It's a great card to have exposure to and to hold, because I think it's a plus EV move. It's got a lot, I think, higher EV than JJ McCarthy, who has got a ton of FOMO baked into his prices, right?
Yeah, and go back, if you can, really quickly, Andy, to the McCarthy chart. And this kind of goes along with the super chat from earlier. This is part of the reason why, if you have one of the earliest slabs, you need to move it quickly, because you see the highest sales are when it was at the absolute earliest. So there you go. That's why. That's part of the reason why you should move.
When it was like a pop 10, the card was selling for 700. I mean, and that was back in February. So, I would. It's kind of going back up, but you see how it came down, normalized, and this is because it gets kind of overshadowed by the release of the other sets and the time of year. But yeah, you can see how it gets that super premium when it first comes out, first gets back from PSA.
All right, Andy, hobby tip of the week time. And
I want to ask you about a few of these guys. So Panini, they sell their instance. It's always better if you can get them to buy these pre-release, pre-sale cards directly from Panini's website, because if you're buying these from eBay, you're paying somebody else that's bought them from here, and you're going to pay more in most cases, virtually all cases. That's why they sell them on eBay, is to make money. So always come to PaniniAmerica.net first, set up a free account, get the notifications so you know when they're coming out, or obviously get in our Discord server. I keep everybody up to date, but there's still some ones on here that are serial numbered that haven't sold out yet that I was looking at. Like, for example, Quinn Ewers, RPS first look auto out of 99 for 150. Jalen Milroe is still on here. I wanted to get your take on some of these guys. Like Caleb Johnson, I thought was an interesting one on here. He's got a base auto out of 99 that is $50. That's an interesting one to me. And then the two quarterbacks, Quinn Ewers and Jalen Milroe, still on here. Jaden Higgins still on here as well, Carter. So I thought that some of these still left on here maybe going under the radar and undervalued.
I'm going to give you one on that list right there. Kyle McCord for $30 is interesting. as a QB. A Panini Instant. It was an auto out of 199, Kyle McCord, for $30. That would be interesting, even though he's going to be the QB3 more than likely. So it's fascinating. Something else I will say, Andy, knowing what you went through last year, the shipment of these can get kind of frisky.
Yeah. So, and I'm going through it again this year.
Okay.
I'm going through it again this year.
Buyer beware.
Yeah. So, it's scary. I got a lot going on, but I'm getting ready to move again in a couple weeks. I placed an order when these first came out. I got a few. You can't get anybody on the phone here. There's no way to change your address. I put in a support ticket to change my address. I also changed my address under my profile. So we'll see. I mean, I lost a Ladd McConkey rookie auto out of 10 last year that I'd gotten off of here. I managed to get my other ones, but I did lose a card out of that situation last year.
Wait, did they ship it to you and you personally lost it?
No, they shipped it to my old address after somebody else had already moved in, and I tried to communicate and talk to the guy, but he had no obligation to give me that card. It was his address at that point. And I tried to get it from him, but I don't know what he did with it. Who knows what he probably sold it. Well, but I never could get him to respond to me via phone call or messages to try and get that card. So I just,
Trod the collector said he got his 2 days ago. So there you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So another hobby tip here. Let me pull this up on the screen. And check it out. So our man Ryan got his draft night instance back, and he wanted to share the print run of these things with us. A lot of times you don't see these print runs in the pre-sale because they haven't been printed yet from Panini. But the Travis Hunter, 11,402. I'm pretty sure that is a record. And you can see Shedeur Sanders, who was the number one in jersey sales after the draft, with only 6,285. So very, very interesting print runs of these cards. It's pretty beefy print runs there.
I like it. That's a good hobby tip of the week. And I'm going to drop
another one too, Carter.
No, keep it going. Keep it going.
So I totally screwed up, man. I felt so bad. I felt defeated and frustrated because so I was supposed to go to the card show on Saturday to get Jalen McMillan's autograph on the card. We talked about the stream last week. Ryan bought the ticket to get the autograph. So I show up at the card show at like 2:00 in the afternoon. I spent like 30 minutes on the card show's website. They had a website. They had the players. I went to their website. I looked at the show times. I looked at the players. It said Jalen McMillan is going to be there Saturday, June 7th. Didn't say a time slot or anything like that. So I show up at the card show on Saturday at 2 p.m. and they're like, "Oh, he's gone." This kid was like, he was only here from 11 to 11:30. And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Is he coming back?" And they're like, "Nope." And I'm like, "What?" I was just dumbfounded. And the lady was like, "Oh, they updated the website this morning." And I'm like, "You kidding me? You're kidding me." Like, I've got kids, I've got a wife, like I've got all this stuff going on. I didn't know I had to look at the website again this morning to see that he was only going to be here for 30 minutes and like try and get here during that time. So it was just unfortunate. Luckily, they did refund the money that Ryan spent for the autograph ticket. But it was just, it was an unfortunate thing that happened. So I guess my hobby tip is to check the website for the card show the day of and like first thing in the morning to make sure, because these athletes are only going to be there for like a 30-minute to an hour window from what I understand.
Yeah. Athletes don't want to hang around. They want to sign and get the heck out. Here's my tip on that. You will never be disappointed going to a card show early. Never. Right? Because it's virtually impossible for you to miss the autograph signings. And on top of that, you're going outside of getting the autograph signings, You're getting the best look at the inventory there that you might want to buy or sell. And you're also going to be one of the earliest in line, right? What if it was a signing from 11 to 11:30? You get there at like 10:45, but the line is way past that 11:30 time. The athlete could just get up and say, "Nah, F them, not going to sign." So more often than not, athletes, especially at like a card show signing, this is just my experience, they sign around that 10 a.m. to like 1 or 2 p.m. slot, right? And then another thing about card shows, Andy, is if let's just say the show is from 10 a.m. till 4, so many vendors and stuff start packing up at like 2, right? They just do. I get why they do it. So I hate that for you. I hate that for our Discordian who wasn't able to get his signature, Mr. Fire the Cannons himself. But yes, my hobby tip. I will be going to Fanatics Fest in New York City. All right. So I didn't tell you this beforehand. I didn't know I was going, but apparently I'm going now. So if you are going to the Fanatics Fest and it's not quite fully a card show like the way the National is a card show, Fanatics Fest is like just so many A-listers are going to be there. Let me know. Okay. I'm very excited about going. I am. Didn't think I was going, and I didn't necessarily like want to go. I wasn't seeking out going, but I got an opportunity, so I will be there. So please hit me up if you are indeed going. I'm sure we have quite a few of our viewers making the trip to NYC, the Big Apple.
City's so nice they had to name it twice, right?
Yeah, let's go. So another thing is they had Fanatics Fest last year. I need some tips for those that actually did go. I don't know what I'm walking into. So hit me up at Power Hour LSU or at Card of the Power on Twitter or Instagram. And if you're in the Discord, hit me up there as well because I need some tips. I really don't even know what all I will be doing, but I will be there. So there you go. It's not quite a tip. So I'm actually asking you guys for tips for when I go. So there you go. Shout out to you, Jonathan. His Cam Ward auto out of 5 came back a PSA 10.
Woo, let's go.
Let's go, Jay. So I feel a little bit different about this, Andy. If you get a fresh labbed auto out of 5 PSA 10 compared to like a Silver Prism PSA 10 that's not numbered, right? Where the print run could be unlimited, where the PSA 10 run could be unlimited. If it is a numbered auto, I would be a little bit more reluctant to just sell immediately. I would just list a very high buy now price and see what happens.
Yeah, that's true. It's a known print run, known scarcity. You got a serious potential there to that commodity.
Let's go to James. He says he's holding quite a bit of Bo Nix going into next year.
I think that's smart. I think that's the move for Bo Nix right now. It seems the market has cooled off. When we looked at him last week at the same price of JJ McCarthy and how much Caleb Williams has gone up, I mean, I think Bo Nix should easily be at the same value as Caleb Williams. So I think that makes Bo Nix a hold. And like I would be listing Bo Nix cards for 20 to 25% higher than what they're currently selling for, at least.
I really do think the Broncos can win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that just to say it.
Whoa, dude, that might be bolder than my Jaden Daniels take, man.
Well, Super Bowls are won in the trenches. Last year, there were 2 teams in the entire NFL that had top 10 pass rush win rate, run block win rate on the offensive and defensive lines. Okay. I didn't say that smoothly at all, but basically showing that your offensive and defensive lines are elite. It was the Philadelphia Eagles and the Denver Broncos. All right. I really like that team. I really like that roster. Top 10 secondary, top 10 defensive line, good linebackers, good offensive line, Super Bowl winning coach, good running back room, good but not elite pass catcher group. Especially if you are an Evan Ingram fan, which I am a believer. So it comes down to Bo Nix, basically. Can he actually get you over that hump? Remember, they were up 7-0 early in that Buffalo game, so they're not a fearless team by any stretch of the imagination. And it would not shock me at all if they win the AFC West this year.
Well, I'd love to see a Denver Broncos, Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl.
That would be.
Wait till you see the pass rush win rate for the Buccaneers this year. Oh, baby. It's going to be nasty. The Bucks defense is going to be a lot better this year. The offense has already been clicking. It's going to get even better. This is exciting. I'm hyped. I'm hyped for my own. There's a lot of bias. But have you seen that rookie? Well, so we added Hassan Reddick to the line. What's his name? He's like 360 pounds. His name, I just
Vita Vea.
What?
Vita Vea.
Vita Vea, but the other guy we just drafted, the rookie.
Oh, I'm drawing a blank. I know you got Kalijah Cansey back.
Yes, Kalijah Cansey back, but let's look. I gotta look it up now because this guy is absolutely massive, and he's added to the D line. This is huge, man. Right here. Hold on, I'm pulled a post up. His last name is Watson, Desmond Watson.
Oh my God, he's a Florida Gator as well.
Yeah,
421 pounds.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Look at the size of this cat.
That is a big
size
boy.
of this man next to Hassan Reddick. Are you kidding me? Good Lord. You put him in there next to Vita Vea with Hassan Reddick on the outside.
That's a lot of beef.
Ooh, buddy. And then, you know, the secondary, I think, has got potential to be better. We got Shiloh Sanders in the backfield now. I think you're going to be doing some film studies on the Buccaneers.
Are you an Emeka Egbuka guy?
Oh, yeah. I think Emeka Egbuka is going to be a great addition to the team. I love that Chris Godwin is committed to the Bucs. He's trending this week with his $30 million, potentially more, that he turned down from the Patriots to stay with the Buccaneers. You got Mike Evans in the sunset of his career. Jalen McMillan, he's all right. He's ascending. He's got potential. And then you add first round Emeka Egbuka. I mean, come on, man. With Bucky Irving, this is going to be a team to be reckoned with in 2025. And Baker's pretty cheap still.
That he is. Okay. I kind of want to get into play of the week a little bit earlier today, Andy.
Yes,
because,
sir.
Oftentimes our plays of the week are when to actually buy someone. Like we give you like a deep cut buy. But I kind of want to take a different route on if you should sell this player. One team, Andy, that I've grown more concerned than I initially thought are the Detroit Lions. Okay. You lose both OC and DC. Then you lose Frank Ragnow. Then you get blown out in a playoff game. Roster is still very good, especially on the offensive side of the football. But your thoughts on the Detroit Lions going into next year?
Who are we talking about buying on the team? This is a very good team, very chalky franchise right now. That should be back in the mix. It's a playoff team, playoff play for sure.
I don't know, man.
The question is, who are we getting on that team at value I don't think it's Gibbs. I don't think it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jamison Williams has gone up a lot in value.
So that's what I'm asking is, is there a sell window on some of these cards? I mean, let me ask you this. I know I got a blue background and you're wearing Lions blue right now. Could you see a world where the wheels fall off here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, just looking at the opening schedule, they're at the Packers week 1, Bears at home week 2, at the Ravens Monday Night Football week 3, Browns at home week 4, at the Bengals week 5, and then at the Chiefs week 6, and then the Buccaneers week 7. I mean, that's a tough first 7 games. Really tough first 7 games. I mean, at least one of them they're losing. No, I mean that's a really tough opening schedule. I could see a lot of Lions players potentially losing value, or I say losing value because they could succumb to the midseason dip because of their win-loss schedule, and if some of their skill position players aren't exceeding the expectations that have been set forth right now that are baked into their prices, then they're going to come back down in price when we get to that mid-season dip at the end of October, the end of November. Now, the wheels could completely come off. I think they'll be okay. They'll probably be in, wild card playoff contention somewhere around there. But I don't think it's going to be quite as good as last year, man.
Okay. So, should you think about moving some Jahmyr Gibbs stuff?
Absolutely.
Yes, I would seriously consider it. Okay. Frank Ragnow, I mean, like in his healthy prime, the dude was the best center in the NFL. Okay, now it's probably Creed Humphrey or someone like that. So I lose a play caller, I lose a center. I do think centers are more valuable for stiff pocket QBs. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. So my play of the week is to seriously consider selling some of your Lions cards because look, this division got better this offseason. All right. The only unit you could really point to and say that they probably took a step back is maybe the Packers because they didn't address corner and Jair Alexander's now at the door. But I don't know. I don't know. So my play of the week, and I'm kind of just doing this as a whole, is a soft Lions fade. I mean, I'm looking now, Jahmyr Gibbs autos. I guess they're not too bad for him being like the fantasy RB1, but I'm looking at this passing the torch Donruss 2024 non-rookie Jahmyr Gibbs auto. On the other side, there's a Barry Sanders auto, so that makes sense. That went for $5.99 though, which is pricey for a running backs card. $4.99 for an Obsidian RPA for Jahmyr Gibbs. So just pointing that out there. If this team starts losing, and even if Gibbs has a big year, there will be a bit of a dip. So I'm just saying that you could be selling at the peak, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. My play of the week, Carter, is going to be going back to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Pat Freiermuth is a great buy this week. I was looking at his rookie ticket autos. There's some stuff selling here, but man, the prices are so cheap. Rookie ticket auto base seal by Panini, though. You get that little seal that provides an extra little bonus. You got that going for $15, like it's like $15-$16 out the door. I think that's a great value on a card. I think Pat Freiermuth values go up here into the season at in a position at tight end where there's positional scarcity, and especially with them trading George Pickens. You get DK Metcalf, Pat Freiermuth, I think becomes one of the primary target earners on this offense. And his autos, very cheap, man, very cheap. And you got some serious potential here to make some money. Flip Pat Freiermuth heading into the season.
Freiermuth. Jonathan says, would you sell Spectra Gibbs RPA? As much as I love Spectra and as much I like Jahmyr Gibbs, I really do. Yeah, I would think about doing it. Terry T makes a strong point. Nobody wants tight ends. Tight ends have always kind of been weird. But I do agree with Terry to a certain extent that tight ends do lag behind receivers when it comes to their prices. And I get it. I really do.
They do, except when they're young, explosive playmakers. You know, they're gonna go up at the same rate as wide receiver. I mean, look at Sam Laporta, look at Dalton Kincaid, look what Brock Bowers did last year, look at what Kelsey's done in the past. I mean, there's so many tight ends that we could go to and look at as examples. There's no reason that look at what Isaiah Likely did week 1 last season, and he's more or less was a nobody before that. And overnight shot up like crazy in value. So there's no reason that Pat Freiermuth can't do here with the Pittsburgh Steelers, with on a team with now Aaron Rodgers that get a lot of primetime games out of the gate, huge market. And when you look at the current prices, little to no downside, a lot of upside. So it's one of those stash plays you sell, spike game. But yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in, being part of the community. Yeah, I got a lot going on right now, Carter, with move coming up in just over 2 weeks. I'll be moving again, so you guys will be seeing a new background here soon. So I hope everybody's having a good off season. I hope appreciate you guys hanging in here with us. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification icon so you get notified when we do go live, and stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. But once again, Fanatics Fest, if you are going, let me know. We'll be live before I actually leave. But I guess everybody in Tampa just moves from house to house every 6 months.
No.
That's there you go. Quickly here, Arturo, Travis Hunter's cards will be overvalued or undervalued. Honestly, I think they could be a little undervalued if he is indeed an elite two-way player, because it'll be something we'll never see before or we haven't seen before. And on top of that, it's all about buzz, so yeah, I could see that. But y'all, we'll see you next week. Peace out.
Peace.